Hi Stampers, we're on day 5 of our product focus on embossing powders, and for my last one I thought I would show you embossing on clear acetate. This card was made with just an overlay to the top. The card is just a regular card that I made, as you can see, and then I put a piece of acetate over it and I embossed the flowers on the front of it. Now I did not put a complete piece of acetate on the back. I just took a half an inch of the acetate and folded it over and adhered it with red liner tape. So there you have it for the one way to do an acetate, but I'm going to show you a different method on embossing on the acetate. I'm going to do a full complete card. This is the standard size card, 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it just like you would cardstock and folded it in half. Now when you're making an acetate card and you're embossing on it, one side, if you feel really careful, is smoother and one side is a little bit rougher. You want to emboss on the rougher side. It's made to hold the embossing powders a little bit more. So you want to start with your static free bag, and you want to pounce that on your acetate really good. Your acetate tends to have a lot of static electricity, so you want to make sure you use the bag and get a good coverage over it to break that static on your card. And then on this card I'm using a greenery background. It's just a leaf, and I am going to use the Versamark like we have all week, and I'm going to ink up my stamp. You want a well-inked stamp pad, and I'm just going to randomly stamp this on the acetate. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and use Irish Spring for my embossing powder. This is a detailed embossing powder, but you can use any of the embossing powders. This one also has some glitter in it. So put it on your coffee filter and go ahead and just cover your acetate just like you normally would your cardstock. Okay, and then we're going to heat it just like regular embossing powder, just like on a regular card. Okay, so we're going to heat it, and you want to be careful not to hold the heat gun in one place too long because you will warp the acetate, but it is made to withhold some heat. And you will find that the embossing powder does change quicker on the acetate. And then what I'm going to do on this particular one is I am going to put a panel on the front of the card and then a panel behind the card so that you can see through it. So to adhere the card to the front, I'm going to use the double-sided tape, and I'm just going to attach it to the card front where I want it. I'm just going to put it in the center here. And then the gold piece that I have, I'm going to put the adhesive on the front of it because it's going to go right behind this piece, so you won't see the center of the front, if that makes sense. Okay, open up the card and then lay it down on top so it's centered. And there you have the front of the card. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the inside, but only this time I'm going to start with the back. So on the inside of the card, we're going to do the same panels, but only we're going to leave the centerpiece white so you can write your message on it. So this time, you're going to turn the whole card over, and you're going to lay this directly on top, the front side facing down on the back of the card. When you open it, that's what you have. And then the white piece will go on top of it like that on the inside. Okay. And then you have a place to write your message there. You could tie a ribbon around the edge if you'd like, but that's just simple embossing on the acetate. It makes a clear card then, or like I did on this one with the overlay on top. You could make it a window. You could make all kinds of different cards with the clear acetate. So play around with it, have some fun, and hope you enjoyed these embossing techniques. And there are so many more out there. I think I'll probably be making more, so stay tuned. Bye-bye. Happy stamping.